Okay, so one more video. Let's get caught up with our digital notebook and the vocabulary words that you need to have in your vocabulary notebook for the devil's arithmetic. I have not done chapters 1 through 4. Unleavened. I guess we can do this now. Means it doesn't have like a rising agent like yeast. The Jewish culture, they're not allowed to eat things with a leavening agent. Gruesome. This is a very strong, the connotation is very strong. If something's gruesome, it means it's really gross or hard to look at. A guttural. Something's guttural. It comes from deep inside, like a laugh. Distorted means to be changed. In a way that is not normal. Compensation means to pay back what is owed. Exodus, the root ex means to leave. So an exodus is to leave. Cloying means, I don't know how to say this. Let's look this up on dictionary.com. See if they can give us. It's like sneaky. Causing or tending to cause disgust or aversion through excess. Overtly ingratiating or sentimental. Let's put annoyance. An annoyance, maybe? Conspiratorial. You know, we all hear about conspiracy theories, which if they say it's a conspiracy theory, you might want to read about it because it could be true. The media back in the 60s are the ones that termed that coin after JFK was assassinated because people were questioning the official governmental statement of what happened to our 35th president, and they didn't want the truth being known, and so they called it a conspiracy. Because of the connotation of the word conspiracy, it doesn't really have a positive meaning behind it. If you hear conspiracy, you think, oh, well, they're a quack, or I'm not going to believe them. And I totally forgot what I said about conspiratorial. Let's see, having an element of untruth. Let's put that. Move this over so you can see it. And the last word is mortified. You can see the root word mort, which means death. And so if you are mortified, that's a really strong word connotation. If you're mortified, you are really embarrassed. I keep using the word connotation because that is a term that we need to know and that we talked about earlier in the year. And I know I have so many new students who probably have no idea what connotation is. So this is how we use our digital notebook. Let's go back up to our notes. Actually, I'm going to present this. If you do not have a digital notebook done, please make sure you get it done, because this is how I check your vocab and your root words. So we're going to go to notes, and you guys can use this for English, because I know they're reviewing some things with you. This is everything we have done so far this year. Characterization. Lit terms. Connotation should be here. Characterization. Connotation. So connotation, whenever I say that, it's the feeling a word or phrase, how it makes the reader feel. So the word Nazi typically gives everybody a negative feeling because of the history behind that word. We talked about Hitler. That word has a certain connotation. Typically, it doesn't give people a positive feeling, but remember, we talked about Hitler is actually a word in India, in the Hindu culture. And so it doesn't mean the same thing to them that it means to the rest of the world. And that's why we need to study different cultures, so that we know that, so we understand why, why did the people in India make a shop and call it Hitler? They had no idea that they were offending half the world. And so that way we don't jump to conclusions and judge people and call them things that they may not be. So that's when I talk about connotation, that is what I'm talking about, what I'm referring to. If you are new and you have not gotten your digital notebook caught up, you need to have all these notes, all these lit terms, everything that I have in my digital notebook. You need to make sure it's in your digital notebook, because these are things that you need to know for 8th grade reading. All right, well, let's see. The vocab, let's go back to vocab. Sorry, there's a lot on it. It takes a long time for it to load. Okay, so we just did that. I did copy and paste today. It's a snow day. I'm feeling a little tired, a little lazy. So I get all my definitions. Whoa, that should be over. I get my definitions from dictionary.com. And I can't see because my screen has a line down the middle. So like things that are in the middle, sometimes I can't see that I've misspelled them or gotten something wrong. So these are the vocab words for chapters, I think 4, the end of it. Uncomprehendingly, not able to understand. Trousers, just another word for pants. Not blue jeans, but like dress pants, or, people back then used to wear trousers made out of wool. Elaborate, over detailed. Sabbath, the 7th day of the week. Saturday as the day of rest and religious observance among Jews and some Christians. Wry, bitterly or disdainfully ironic or amusing. You should know what it means to be ironic. We've talked about ironic. Ironic means the opposite of what you say will happen happens. Cascade, flowing. A plow is an instrument used to work up the ground, usually pulled by livestock. Shettle is a small village. The newest vocabulary, Devil's Arithmetic, chapters 5 through 7. A privy is an outhouse. Now, there are multiple meanings to privy, but in this context in the story, she was talking about an outhouse. The other definition, if you're privy to know something, that means you know what's going on, like the inside scoop. Hanukkah, there are different ways to spell it, so I included that. It's a Jewish festival lasting 8 days. It's celebrated from the 25th day of the month of Kislev to 2nd of Tevet, lighting of the menorah. And down below, I put a picture of a menorah. Remember, you can add pictures to your digital notebook to help you remember things. Anti-Semitism has not gone away. It's been there since the beginning of time. It's discrimination against Jews. A root word for the week is anti, which means against, and that will go down here in your roots here in just a second. As well as mort. I think I talked about that. For mortified. Mort means death, and mortified is just a word that was created from the root mort. Rabbi is the chief religious official of a synagogue. Title of respect for a Jewish scholar or teacher. Synagogue is the Jewish house of worship, kind of like how we have churches, they have synagogues. And the menorah is a candelabrum having 7 branches. So we're going to go to the roots section of our digital notebook. And we're going to add some more roots. So here is a list of root words that you need to make sure that you have and that you know what these roots mean. We'll have a quiz on them probably the end of this week. These have been roots from all year. Just study them. It'll be real easy. It'll be on Google Forms, and you'll just match. So 2 roots that we have this week from the Devil's Arithmetic. Anti means against. Hope I spelled that right because it's right down the middle of my screen. A-G. I think it looks right. And mort means death. Okay. All right, guys, so that is a video of getting your digital notebook updated with vocabulary words from the Devil's Arithmetic from chapter 1 up until chapter 7 with some extra root words. Remember, if you don't have one set up, there are videos on YouTube. We did this at the beginning of the year. Email me, especially if you're new, and I will try and help you get it done.